Open a new window, search for AWS free tier account. Go to this link. I will provide this link in the description as well, aws.amazon.com/free. So AWS offer their services in three forms. First are the free trial services, which start from the date which you activated that particular service. Just like you can filter that by using click here on trials. So first is the machine learning service of AWS, that is Amazon SageMaker, which is free for 2 months from the date you activated this SageMaker service. Similarly, they offer 12 months free services. So let's see that. So our virtual server service of AWS Amazon EC2 is free for 750 hours per month for initial 12 months. So there is a cap from month wise as well as the like time limit as well is there. If you exceed these 1050 hours per month, even in this 12 months, you have to pay as according to pay as you go pricing model. And the final are always free services. So AWS offer full-time free services just like this DynamoDB, which offers 25 GB of free storage. So let's go ahead and click on this create a free account. So this will take up to this sign up page. So here it is asking for root user email address. Just like any account you create, it asks for your email address and your name. So here it is asking for root user email address, which is going to be your primary email address for account recovery and other administrator purpose like billing and all. And then you can choose any account name which you want to give to your AWS account according to your organization, or you can give your name as well and click on this verify email address button, and they will send a verification code to our mail address. Just enter that and click on verify. So now as my email address is verified, now they are asking to set up the password. So let me do that. So now they are asking for contact information, just like my name, phone number, and my address. So let me enter those details. Now it is asking for some billing information. So we have to enter our credit card or debit card. So for Indian user, it is going to deduct 2 rupees, which is going to be refunded into 3 to 5 working days. And for international user, it is going to deduct $1 and same will be refunded to you as well. So let me enter my payment details. Now it is asking for my mobile verification. So let me enter my mobile number, and similar to email address, it will send a verification code to my phone number, and let me enter that as well. So now they are asking to choose a support plan. So we are going to choose the free plan and we can access all those services. First is the basic support plan in which no support is provided from AWS itself. So AWS guys will not help you. We have to take care of our account itself. Second one is the developer support in which AWS guys help us through email and can take up to 12 business hours to respond to our query. It is going to cost us money like $29 per month. Developer support plan is recommended for the freelancing work. So if you are looking for freelancing work on AWS, then you can go for that. Then there is a business support plan, which is going to cost you $100 per month. Here they will provide 24/7 support, not only on the email, but also over the phone as well as on the chat as well. So response time is also reduced from 12 business hours to 1 any day hour. This plan is recommended for small and mid-scale organization. And then there is another plan, this enterprise level support plan, which starts from $15,000 per month. The response time will be reduced to 15 minutes. You will be assigned a personalized technical account manager that is going to dedicatedly help you on your support plan. So this support plan is generally taken by big MNC in their project when they are initially setting up the AWS account and all their AWS infrastructure. When you are working with the MNC, you are going to mostly deal with this support plan. And as a solution architect, if it is asked to you in your project, like which plan you have to go, then according to the project or the company which you are working for, you can choose any plan according to them. But generally, if you are working in a big MNC, then you are definitely going to deal with enterprise level support, and you can tell your organization that under this plan, you will be assigned a dedicated technical account manager, which is going to help you throughout the process. So let's click on this complete sign up button. So now we landed on the congratulation page. Our account is getting activated and it can take up to few minutes, and I have seen it can goes up to 24 hours to fully activate our account. But anyway, whenever your account got activated, you will receive a mail from AWS. So then be sure that your account is fully activated now. So let's click on this go to AWS Management Console button. So they are asking for some details. You can choose your role accordingly, whatever you are, IT executive or manager, or you whatever you are interested in. So you can select on that and just click on submit. And here you can see two options are available. One for the root user, which is like a super admin account. And as stated here, it is used by the account owner that performs tasks requiring unrestricted access. I strictly suggest you that you use it for this billing purpose only. We will create an IAM user for that, for our daily task, as stated here as well, that it is for the users with an account that performs daily tasks. So just now only I created my root user account. So once I will create an IAM user, I will not use this root user, as it is also advisable by AWS that you should always use IAM user for your task, not your root user, because it can give you unlimited access, which can affect the security of all your resources in AWS cloud. So let's start entering our root user email address. So let me enter that. Then click on next. Now they are asking for the password. Just enter it, click on sign in. So this will take you to this AWS Management Console homepage. This portal is known as AWS Management Console. This has some drag and drop widgets, so you can adjust according to your requirements.
AWS budgets are used to track your cost and usage information and take several actions based on that information. We can set custom budget alarms that will alert you whenever your cost and usage exceeded your budget amount. The creation of an AWS budget is a very important task, and it should be done immediately after the creation of your root AWS account.
So you can click Alt as keyboard shortcut, or you can directly go to this search bar. Always, whenever you try to go new service, you can go to this search bar and search that. Make this as a habit. Whenever you want to go to any service, always go through this search bar. This will make your things easy. So you can see this option, AWS budgets. It is used to set custom budgets and receive alerts, as we already discussed. So we are going to use it to monitor if we are going over our free TL limit, and if we go above our free tier limit, then we will get an email alert. So let's see how to set up that. We are on the home screen page of AWS budget, and it says that it is used to set custom budget that alerts you when you exceed your budgeted threshold. So for me, I always keep my budgeted threshold as $0 because I don't want to spend a single penny. So we will keep our threshold as low as possible. So, and here you can see how it actually works. So we need to create a budget, and we have to put our threshold. What is our threshold? We are going to put it as low as possible. We will be notified according to that, and we can respond based on that notification. And we can also set up automatic actions, so which will be taken whenever we cross any threshold. Just like in our case, whenever we cross any free tier limit, then that action will be taken. We are just basically doing it so we not have to overspend our money, and there is no additional charge for using AWS budgets. So it's a totally free service. But always remember this, don't go only on the first line, that you only pay for the action that go beyond the free tier offer of 62 action enabled budget days. Means if you set up any automatic actions, we can use that action for the 62 days only. And after that, your first two action enabled budgets are free, means regardless of the numbers of action, you can put that in budget. So first two budgets will be free for you per month. And after that, Each subsequent action enabled budget will cost you around $0.10 after that. So be aware of that. So I suggest you don't use any automated action because you might forget and it will start costing you heavily because it has a $0.10 budget daily cost. Okay. We will see it anyways. I can show you that, but I strictly suggest you don't to enable that AWS budget action. Okay. So let's start. You can also set up auto adjusting budgets, which is a new feature of AWS budget, which will dynamically change the budget amount based on the baseline you defined. Here you can see it is for the tracking our AWS cost and uses, and it allows to create budget, forecast spend, and take action on our cost and uses from a single location. As you can see as well, the above region has changed to the global because this AWS budget is a global service. Means you can set up the custom budget for every location from this single page. So let's go and click this create a budget. So as just now only I created my account. So you can see it is saying that budget creation limited because Cost Explorer is not enabled this for this account, and the AWS budget does not have access to your billing data. Okay. And these changes can take up to 24 hours to effect. So you can see the UI of AWS is very simple. Even if you don't know anything, if you know just the English, then you can easily navigate it through. It's a very simple UI. I just want to create a budget for my course. So whenever I cross my free tier, I will get an alert. So that's come under the course budget, and it is also recommended and it is also enabled. And you can see it is for the monitoring our cost against a specific dollar amount. So click on next, and you can see because Cost Explorer isn't enabled for this account, you won't be able to view or filter your historical data while creating a budget because but I don't this is a new account for me, so I don't have any historical data, and after creating a budget, Cost Explorer will be automatically enabled, and it will take up to 24 hours to populate all your data. Okay, so here also every step is given that how you can create a budget. That first we need to enter our budget details, then we have to enter the budget amount, and then we have to provide the scope. Means what type of data we want under this budget, means what number of services you want to count in this. Just like I want EC2 to cost me only $1, then we can set up according to that also. Okay. So that is the scope of my budget, that it is for only EC2. But I am setting here for the whole account because I don't want to spend a single penny. So let me name my budget. So name should be between 1 to 100 character. So I will name it as AWS total budget. So whenever I receive a mail from AWS, it will be under this heading AWS total budget. So I will be informed about that I have crossed my free tier limit. So next step will to set up a budgeted amount. So here you can see, you can select the period. This limit what you are putting, it is for the monthly limit or daily limit or quarterly or annually. So you can select that. So remain it as whatever it is defaultly, that is monthly. And you can select the budget renewable type as recurring budget. It is also selected as defaultly. So it will renew on the first day of every month, and you can also choose the expiring budget, which will expire after you set the end month, and it will automatically going to stop that budget. The start month will be defaultly selected as your current month. So whenever you are creating budget, you can select any. So under the budgeting method, where fixed is selected as defaultly, in which I can enter the budgeted amount. I am going to put as low as possible, which is the 0.01 value for AWS. But first we will try with the 0.00. I know it is not going to accept it, but let's try with it because AWS keep changing. So let's see. And let's come to our next step, which is budget scope. So here the scope options are available. If you want to filter any specific dimension of the AWS, then you can select that. Just like I given an example as well that you can select AWS EC2, then it will track only EC2 cost. But AWS also recommended for the root user that you can track all the AWS services under your budget, and you can aggregate your cost as well. You can put the default one and just click on next. So you can see we have got an error that review the errors below and try again. So let's go to that, and it is saying budgeted amount must not be 0. So if you put it 0.01, then only it's going to accept it is the minimum amount. So let's click on next, and you can see we are on the next screen. Here it is showing why we need to create the budget alerts, because in order to be notified on the same state of your budget, you can create up to 5 different alerts based on your budgeted amount. For example, we can create an alert to notify ourselves when we have reached the 75% of our budgeted amount. So we have set up the budgeted amount. Now we are going to set up the budget alerts. So you can see it is showing me the budgeted amount, that is budgeted amount is $0.01. So let's click on add an alert, and here you can see this is alert number 1, alert hashtag 1 is scam. So total you can add up to 5 alerts. Let's set the alert threshold. So when should I want this alert to be triggered? I will select as 100%. So whenever this, because I already set up is very low, 0.01. So whenever my cost will become greater than this $0.01, then this alert threshold will be exceeded and it will trigger this alert. Here you can select how you want this alert to be triggered based on the actual cost or on the forecasted cost. I want to be triggered on the actual cost. Forecasted means it AWS predict itself and it will alert you. But I am going to use the actual trigger, actual cost trigger. So let's select that. It is also selected by default. And here you can see summary as well, that when your actual cost is greater than 100% of your budgeted amount, that is $0.01, the alert threshold will be exceeded. And here you can enter your mail ID in the email recipient box. So these whatever email IDs you put here, they will be notified whenever the threshold is exceeded. So the maximum numbers of email address you can put here is up to 10. Down below you can see this option of add alert threshold. So as I said, you can add up to 5 alerts. So we can create that. You can see if I click on that, then alert 2 will come. So I can set it up for 90% or 75%. Whenever that will happen, I will receive that alert as well. If you want to put that, then go ahead. I'm just putting it for the 100% because our amount is very basically low. So let me remove this alert. So click on remove, then click on next. Here also you can see it is a very simple UI of AWS where you can see each thing, what it represent, what this page represent. So here you can see that what is in budget action. If you want to read it, then you can read it. I already told you, but it's an optional step. I already told you it can cost you money. So be aware of that as well. Just click on next. So here is the preview of our AWS budget, which we are going to create. First is the budget type. So we have chosen the cost budget. So because we want to monitor our cost against a specific amount. And the second step is to set up our budget, where we have named it, we have the starting date, and we have set up our budget amount. We have set up the period as well. The additional budget parameters, we can see by which method we have aggregated our cost. We aggregated it by unblended cost. We haven't changed anything in that. It includes the upfront reservation fees, recurring reservation charges, other subscription costs, taxes, support charges, discounts as well, and it is exclude the refund and credits, which are the amount which I received from the AWS. So it is excluded from that. It is already defaultly selected when we choose to aggregate it by the unbranded post. And third step is to configure alerts. So we have configured one alert that whenever the 100% of my budgeted amount has got crossed based on the actual cost, I will be notified to my email. And last step is optional to attach the actions. I haven't attached any action. So there is none. You can edit from here as well if you want to edit it any particular step. So it started creating the budget. and quickly it has created my budget, AWS total budget. My budget got created successfully, and it is saying that after creating a budget, it can take up to 24 hours. You can see my budget is there and it is in the OK state under the threshold. So means there is nothing to worry about. And here you can see the budgeted amount as well. In practical word, if you are working, if you want to send this AWS budget to your client, then you can download this CSV, comma separate values file, which can be opened into the Microsoft Excel, which is there in every organization. Or if you don't have, then you can use the Google spreadsheet to open this. This is a comma separated value file. It can be opened into any spreadsheet software. So if you select this, you can view the preview of your budget. Here you can see here is our limit 0.01, which is represented by red dash line, and currently actual cost is 0, so it is colliding with the 0 line.
So let's search IAM. Here you can see the short description of IAM, which is manage access to AWS resources. So let's move. Here we land on IAM dashboard. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management, and it's clear by its name that it is basically used for managing the identity and access for different users. First thing we found in the IAM dashboard is sign-in URL for IAM users. So what are these IAM users? IAM users are people or applications to which you want to interact with your AWS account by using console or programmatically. In the link, you can see our 12-digit AWS account ID, which can be found here also. You can find this customize button to customize this sign-in URL, as it is difficult to remember 12-digit account ID. So let's customize our sign-in URL. Let me change the account ID with custom SHARMA. Oh, it's not available. Let me try with custom SHARMA official. Below you can see a note that IAM users will still be able to log in using the account ID URL. Create alias. Successfully created, and now IAM users can use both URL, account ID as well as alias URL for sign into this account. In IAM resources, you can see currently IAM users are 0, and we already discussed what are IAM users. But there are 2 IAM roles by default. So let me open it a new tab. So here you can see a proper definition of IAM roles from AWS, that IAM roles are secure way to grant permission to entities that you trust. So what can be these entities? It can be IAM user in another account, or any application code, or it can be an AWS service or an user from corporate directory. Let's scroll down and check what are those 2 default roles assigned to our account. First one is AWS service role for support. Let's see what is it. Here you can see that this service linked role cannot be deleted even if you want to. This role is attached to your account to provide billing, administrative and support services. Now move toward our second role, AWS service role for trusted advisor. Let's see what it do. It is used to access trusted advisor service, which does help to reduce cost, increase performance and improve security of our environment. But what is this trusted advisor? It is a service that provides real-time guidance to help you provision your resources following AWS best practices. So we have understood the function of roles attached to our account by default. Next thing is IAM groups, which is used to manage access for multiple users. It's like a group in a chatting applications through which we can interact with multiple users. Next is identity providers, which are used to define trusted external identities. Last one is customer managed policies, which are used for defining permissions for IAM users, roles and groups. If you notice, we already seen a policy while we are talking about IAM role. Here you can see that one permission policy is applied, support service role policy. But it is not a customer managed policy, it is AWS managed policy. So what is the difference between them? So as cleared by their name, AWS managed policy is managed by AWS and it cannot be edited. While customer managed policy are managed by customer and it can be edited. So we have one security alert that root user for this account does not have any MFA, that is multi-factor authentication. So let's enable MFA. It is similar to the OTP we get before transaction. So here in the MFA section, click on activate MFA. Here we get three options: virtual image of a device, which is generally used and we will also use this method. Second one is U2F security key, which is generally used in industries to maintain extra security and compliance. And third one is any other hardware MFA devices. So let's click on continue. Here you can see a list of compatible apps on Android and iOS. I generally prefer Google Authenticator, however you are free to use anyone. So click on show QR code. You can now scan this QR code using Google Authenticator. Then we have to type two consecutive MFA codes in the below field. Click on assign MFA. We have got a message that we have successfully assigned virtual MFA. In quick link section, you can find my access key link. So what is this access key? Access key are very important in AWS as they are used to make programmatic calls from CLI, SDKs or even direct API calls. Also remember one point, that you cannot have more than two access key at a time. Now let me show you how to create an IAM user. Go to user, click on add user. First thing you have to put the username for the user. So let me put I am KAUSTUBH. You can create multiple users at a time by clicking this add another user button. Next thing is to select AWS access type. Either you want to give programmatic access or AWS management, or even you want to give both. You can select it easily. Programmatic access enables access key and secret access key for API, CLI, SDK and other tools. While management console enables password that allow us to sign in into AWS management console. So I want both type of access, so I click on both. Then you have option to choose password. You can either choose the auto generated password or use the custom password according to your choice. If you want to reset a password when you give next sign in, then check this box. And this will automatically give this user IAM user change password policy to allow them to change their password their own. Now click on next permission. So here we got three options to set the permissions. First one is to add user to group, but right now we haven't created any group. So we move toward the second option. Second one is copy permission from existing user, but we haven't created any other user also, so we won't be able to do that. So let's click on the third option, attach existing policies directly. So let me attach administrator access for this user. You can find other policies also related to each services. Click on next tags. Here you can attach tags like an email address or any other description. It is an optional, so I am leaving it blank. Click on review. Here you can review all your details, like username is I am KAUSTUBH, I want to give programmatic and console access both, password is auto generated, we want to reset the password on next sign in, and we don't set any permission boundary as we don't want to limit our permissions. Here are two policies we have attached, administrator access and IAM user change password, which automatically got attached. because we check the reset password tab. Now click on create. We have successfully created the user, and below you can find the details. I hide my access key and secret key, and you should do the same. You should not tell anyone about your access key and secret access key. We can use the given URL to sign into the console as we customize our URL earlier. And the most important thing here is to download this CSV file, as it is very important to download it right now because you won't be able to download it later ever again. So download it right now. And also, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe to my channel. So AWS created user IAM KAUSTUBH and attach administrator and change password policy to it, and created access key and login profile for the user. So here you can see all the details related to user, but here group is none because we didn't attach our user to any group. So let's make a group and attach to it. So let's quickly create a group. Click on create new group. Let me type group name as admins. Click on next. Now we have to attach policy to the group. So I want to give this administrator access and IAM user change password access to the admins. Review the policy and now click on create group. So as a group is created, but the user attached to it is 0. So let me go to the user, scroll down, you can see there are 2 policies attached right now, and you can add inline policies option also here, which we will see in a snap. Let's go to the group, click on add user to the group. Now you will find group name here. Select the group, click on add to groups. So now our user is added to the admins group, which has administrator access and IAM user change password policy attached to it. Now if we go back to permissions, you can see that there are 4 permissions attached to it and they are overlapping each other. So let me detach the policy which we earlier attached directly, as AWS recommended that it is a best practice to apply policies using groups. Now it is a better setup. So let's talk about inline policies. So inline policies are the policies which you can use to directly attach to the user. So let me show you how to create a policy. So here in the visual editor, choose a service like, let me choose to S3. Then we have to choose actions like which action you want to allow or deny. As you can see, you can control permission of every aspect you can think. Then you have to choose the resource and select the ARN. ARN are the names which is used to uniquely identify AWS resources. Everything in AWS or every AWS resource has a unique ARN. But right now we don't have any bucket. So let me cancel it. But I hope you understand the process of creating the policy. Now let's move toward tags. Here you can attach tags to user and we already discussed about them. In security credential, you can find sign in link and all other options to secure the user account. You can also assign the MFA device from here. Here you can find the access key which we already downloaded it. Now let's move toward access advisor. So access advisor show all the services which user can access. So here you can see we allowed 259 services to the user as we allowed administrator access, and the last access information is available to S3 management, as just now we use S3 management actions while creating inline policy. So let me log in using our IAM user.
So I am signing out from my root account. So as you can see, I logged out from my root account. So let me sign into the console. Here now I have to choose the IAM user options to log in into my IAM account. So here you have to enter your 12-digit account ID, or you can use account alias which you customize it. So let me put KAUSTUBH SHARMA official and click on next. And for IAM username and password, we download a CSV file. So let me open that. Here in the user credential file, you can find username, password, access key, secret access key, and the console login link. You can also use this link to sign in. I hide my password and access key and secret access key. So let me put the username and password there. Now sign in. So as we selected while creating this account that we want to give a password reset pop-up. So now we have to change the password. So let me change password quickly. So here you can see I am logging using my IAM user, that is IAM KAUSTUBH. So now let's go to IAM. Now here you can see the users, roles and groups, all the things. So we have learned about many services along with IAM, just like differences between the policies and how to create them. We also talked about Trusted Advisor and many other services. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. See you in the next video.